Welcome to another episode of Dad Can We Talk? This is your host, Anthony Ray. And this is episode 138 of Dad Can We Talk? First off, I just want to give a shout out to Gainesville Podcast Studio. That's where we're posted up at today. If y'all need anything as far as podcasting, if you don't have the original concept, you don't know where to start. If you have it all together, you just need a place to come and record. Whatever your needs may be, come holla at my man at Gainesville Podcast Studios. Man, he gonna get you right. I promise you that. Another shout out to my man Mike Peter Barber. My man, y'all go and holla at him off of East University, off of Lake Road. Man, I've been saying I'm just gonna start calling him the premier barber of Gainesville, Florida. Y'all go holler at him, man, for all your haircut needs. Even if you somebody like me with the bald head, he has this product that he has called the beard oil. I ain't got too much of a beard like that, but man, I used it on this bald head one day after I shaved. Oh my God. It left me feeling great, smelling good, and feeling good. So y'all go and holler at my man. He has some great products over there, and he will get you right. Whatever it is that you need. If you just need a taper, you need a lineup. If you got locks and you want to get them, get it right around the edges, man, he'll do all that. He will get you right. I promise you. He got good prices for the kids, everything. Y'all go holler at my man Mike Peter Barber at Winter Circle Cuts. And go check out his website at Winter Circle. It's MikePeterBarber.com. Go holler at my man over there and let him get you right, get you fresh. And before we get started in 2-hour conversation today, y'all know what I need y'all to do. Go to YouTube and subscribe to the podcast at Dad Can We Talk. Soon, I'm planning on changing the channel name because we are going to be merging everything and going into Can We Talk Network. So y'all be on the lookout for that sometime next year. So Can We Talk Network will be the umbrella for Dad Can We Talk, Men Can We Talk, and I got my other podcast coming. It will be the North Central Florida Sports Podcast. So y'all be on the lookout for that also. So once y'all see that channel change, the name change, I'll let you guys know. And we just trying to build these subscribers up, man, and continue to spread the word, man. Do this work. If you have a podcast, if you are interested in being a part of the network, please get with me. I'm looking for other people that's gonna be that's willing to be a part of the network. So that's something that I'm also have in the works, and they ain't done yet, but it's in the works. So be on the lookout for that. But without further ado, man, I'm here with a guy. I must say, man, he's been on my radar for a minute. He reached out a few months back, and he's been telling me that he's really been wanting to come on the pod. And finally, I got some time. I got around to it, and I'm sitting here with him today. So I'm excited to hear his story and just really see what he has to offer, man. Y'all know I always say, Dad, Can We Talk is for everyone else out there, but Dad, Can We Talk specifically is for me. I'm trying to learn from others as much as possible. So I'm looking forward to weaning some of this wisdom today, man. So y'all welcome to the show, my man, the Lyrical KingKong. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Excited to be here. I saw you. I've been hearing about the podcast for a long time. Finally, I ran into Jarrell. He told me to hit you up. You'd be happy to have me. So I've been, like I said, I've been watching the podcast, and I figured it was something I wanted to be a part of. So I came check it out, man. I appreciate being here.
For sure, man. So the way we always do it, man, I'm gonna stick to my original guns. First question is always the same, so I'm gonna ask you this: what was your relationship like with your dad?
Um, it wasn't the best relationship, but I knew my father. I knew my father. He came around. He lived fairly close, so whenever he got a chance, he would come over. We would see him, and it wasn't a fairy tale, but I knew he was there, and he tried his best.
Straight up. Straight up. How would you say that relationship, or lack thereof, how would you say that affected you growing up as a man? Like, do you think that you could have, that it would have benefited you more if he was there more often, or did you feel like did you ever feel like there was anything missing there
I
growing up?
mean, of course, as a kid, you're gonna wish both of your parents are in the house. Of course, you're gonna feel like something is missing because there is so much more that could come from two parents being in the household. But now that I'm older and now that I understand a little bit more, number one, I don't know what the situation was, and just looking at both of them, you can see how y'all was gonna crash sometime soon. But I mean, I believe having my father in the house would have, put maybe a little more momentum into me. Maybe I would have, been a little more ambitious about pursuing things and not really afraid to face my fears. But I can't really blame either one of them for anything. So now that I'm older, I really don't put too much pressure on what my father could have did. When I was a kid, hell yeah. What I'm saying? You could have been there more, you could have showed up to more of my games. You could have, spent more time with me as a man or whatever. But overall, like I said, I think I understand a little bit more now. So I try not to focus on that too much and not let it, derail what I'm trying to do as a man and as a father.
And I love that because that's something that I realized as I got older. Also, just well, I had a conversation with my dad, just kind of like, man, what's going on, bro? Like, what happened? So I kind of had got a little knowledge of the situation, and as much as I didn't agree with a lot of it, I understood. I was like, I get it, bro. You had issues just like anybody else.
Right,
So
right,
and his issues were pretty serious. To where being a grown man, I understand. Like, yeah,
right, right.
I can see why you, like, bro, you had some real issues,
Yeah,
and it's just not something that you get over in a week or a day or a month or even sometimes a year. The stuff he was dealing with was stuff that people deal with. Some people never get over the stuff.
right, right.
So being a grown man, that once I had the opportunity to actually talk with him, it just, I exercise compassion. Like, man, I get it. And I let him know I still need you though, bro.
Right.
Let's continue. Let's build from here now. With me being a grown man with my own kids and being married and stuff, like, I need you in my life, bro. Just sometimes just to hear him call me and say, "What's going on, son? You all right?" That's everything for me.
Yeah,
I don't
definitely.
need anything other than that.
Yeah, definitely. I always make time to, go by and see him or call him and check on him. Hey, make sure you still breathing.
Yeah,
You
straight up.
know. But yeah, like you said, as you get older, you understand a little bit more. And because my father, he was a bit of a rolling stone, but I had a chance to actually see who he was when I was around 15 or 16. I actually moved in with him for a little bit or whatever. He's whole new wife, whole new family or whatever. But I actually see what he deals with as a man, and as a man, every answer isn't always the right answer. Sometimes there is no right answer. Things just have to be done, or things are just going to happen, and it's all about how you react to it, and whether you react poorly or well to it. I mean, it's really not even for us to call. It depends on the situation. So
Straight
there's
up.
really no right or wrong answer. What you did is what you did. What happened was what happened.
Straight up.
But
I love that, man. I love that. What are any other men that were there for you? That stepped in. Any other role models or guys in the neighborhood, family members that you looked up to?
yeah, definitely, definitely. When I was younger, I I had a stepfather. It was one of my mom's boyfriends. His name was Fred. From the time I say I was maybe 5 till I was like 10 years old, he was always in my life. He didn't live with us, but I would always go see him, and I would always stay the night at his house. And him, he put that little father figure in me that was missing from my biological father while he wasn't around or whatever. But Fred actually gave me that love and affection as a man that I needed as a young boy. You feel what I'm saying? So I looked up to him very much. He taught me a few things. He's a country ass dude too. He was. I remember him finding, I think it was a couple gopher turtles. He told me, boy, that's dinner tonight. What you talking about? I'm like, you really finna eat these turtles, Daddy? Yeah, boy, you did what? And I watched him clean and grill the hell out of these turtles. And
Ain't no way, man.
and it sad part is I love turtles. So
Yeah.
this is terrifying me, but
Yeah.
yeah, he was a special person in my life. And I wish I could have said more to him because I watched him pass. He's no longer with us. He actually ended up dying of AIDS. And the last time I went to go see him, he was about maybe 6'5", 6'6", maybe 100, maybe 150 pounds. When I went to go see him, he looked it, shriveled or whatever, and it made me look at a lot of things differently, but always pretty much try to say what you need to say to people while they're here and enjoy them while they're here as well. Because that was unexpected to me. I know I hadn't heard from him for a while, but then my mom told me, "Oh, well, Fred's dying, and we need to go see him and stuff." But I just didn't have a chance to talk to him before he left.
Jeez.
But I did love him though. He was a special person in my life.
Man, shout out to Fred, man. That's and I love that point that you made because, man, that's something that I try to focus on all the time. Currently I haven't really lost anyone that's like I always say I really haven't lost anyone like really significant to me so far at this point in my life, like my mom, my grandmother, brothers or like people that's really close to me. I still don't know what that feeling is like because I haven't experienced that yet. And I'm always just praying, just asking God, like, please just give me strength to be able to, for when that time does come, because I see it all around me all the time.
Right.
And it's like, man, how do you deal with that? Like, how do you cope, with the loss? How do you go through that grieving process? Like, and it's just something that I can't really fathom right now, and it's so every time I hear something like that, I'm just like, man, like I gotta take every opportunity, let me call my mom. If I'm thinking about it, just I don't want nothing. Just how you doing, mom? You good?
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
And it's really no way to get over it. Like, I mean, some people grieve for the rest of their lives, but they just wear it well or whatever. Because, I lost Fred when I was younger, so I didn't really understand a lot, but I knew what was going on, but I didn't really understand like life is short, and but other than that, that kind of brought me closer to my real father as well. Because once I moved in with him and I learned how to talk to him as a man or whatever, and like I said, he was always around. He just we would just never face to face for a full 24 hours. And but yeah, it's hard to get over grief. Grief is not something everybody deals with well, and that happened younger, and as I'm getting older, I'm just now starting to lose more important people. I lost my cousin, my aunt, my grandma, on my father's. This just on my father's side. But yeah, like you said, try to appreciate people while they're here.
That's real, man. That's real. How would you say all of those things, has with now you being a father, now you being just who you are now, like how, like especially as a father, how have those things translated over into the way that you father your own children now? Just all the laws, just everything.
I mean, as a parent, every new parent says they're not going to do what their parents did,
Yeah.
and we all try not to. But as the years go on, we find ourselves sounding like our parents, regardless, because we start realizing they were right about certain things. So losing people really didn't affect how I fathered my kids. It was more of having people and seeing them in the now. If I'm even making sense with that, because I try to show my kids, all right, look, this is the word, and I got two girls, so I don't have a son I could just snatch up and just, you know what I'm saying, this is what it is, son, this is what it is. So I got to try to bring them the world in a way they can understand, but also be blunt enough so that you know that this is real.
And what are the ages?
My oldest just turned 18. My youngest will be 17 tomorrow, actually. Yeah. So losses really didn't dictate how I tried to raise my kids. More of the being here and look around you as a person. And I heard somebody say something that made me think. A lot of us never grow up knowing what we want to be or what we want to do in life or who we want to be. We just know who we don't want to be. We know for a fact we don't want to be this person. We don't want to be like them. We don't want to do that, but we don't know who we are. So I try to instill in them, who and what do you want from this life? What do you want? What do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Don't look at the negative. You have to look at who you are. Don't look at everybody else, because nobody can save you or help you. Because at the end of the day, you are your own person. You have to make your own decisions. So I just try to give them the truth, and hopefully, my teaching steered them in the right direction. I heard some shit on Malcolm in the Middle. The mechanic was saying, teaching your kids about life is not teaching them how to get out of an accident. It's more of teaching them how to turn into the skid. Basically, you can't prevent them from crashing. You can only teach them how to handle it if the situation comes about. So
Good. That's good, man. Wow. And you got two daughters. I got two daughters, man. So they're 11 and 8 currently. And so I ain't that deep in the game yet, but it's coming.
It's coming. Yeah, I have a Sheen account now.
Yeah.
I have an account with Sheen now.
Jeez.
Yes, that's
Man, so talk to me about that. So my oldest, man, she's in 6th grade, and great kid, man. Like every time I think about it, I be wanting to cry and stuff, because she's just so beautiful, so smart, just man, she's everything, bro. Honestly, she's everything. And I just think about all the time, like, bro, she was just this little baby.
what.
And now, like, she's in 6th grade, and I'm dropping her off to school, and she's like, just living her, she's doing what she's supposed to do, straight A student. And I'm like, man, like, that's my baby. And some days I doubt myself, and I'm like, bro, am I really being the dad that she needs me to be? Like, am I really doing it? And it's like, she tells me all the time she loves me and all this stuff, but it's like I have these thoughts sometimes, like, am I really doing good enough, bro? And it's a thought that man, it's like an everyday thing, bro.
Bro, the fact that you're even having those thoughts mean that you're doing a great job, bro. because as a father, especially with girls, the biggest struggle we have, and we know for a fact that we cannot hold their hand through life. Daddy would go to the edge of the earth for you, but daddy can't be there every moment to protect you or guide you or things like that. That's the biggest fear of being a father, especially to women.
Sheesh.
You
Dang.
you have to teach them and you have to let them go. And Lord knows you don't want to, but you can't stop them from growing. You can't stop them from having their own opinion, and you can't stop them from wanting to live their own life. And just the thought of, am I good enough? Did I teach them enough? That shows that you really have. Because you've gone to the edge of the earth. You've trying to do everything within your power to make sure there is a guiding light and also a shield, a force field around this child that no harm would come to them, but they always have an arrow pointing them in the right place, and it's just impossible. And as a father, I don't know,
Yeah, it's real.
you wake up every day, you do your best, but you still feel defeated at the end of the day because I know I could have did more. There's something else that I'm missing.
And that's where I'm at. A lot of days, it's like, man, like I know I did everything that I possibly could in a certain day, but then it's like, can I do more? Like, can I do more tomorrow? And just trying to practice my faith and just God, some things I can't do, and that's not even my job, honestly. Like, and I think that's where we get caught up. It's hard not to get caught up in that place, knowing that I'm not her savior. I'm not, like, all I could do is guide her, you know, show her the way to go, and just lead the rest up in God to God. Like wherever she's gonna go, and just always be there. How have you, as they've grown, especially through those teenage years, like how have you been able to keep the relationship with them? Because like right now, it's still like we're still super very close. She comes to talk with me about stuff, and she loves to come still hug me and kiss me, and I'm just like, oh God, I want to keep this for the rest of my life. But I know at some point, they grow up. That's just
Yeah.
that's life. So how have you dealt with that?
It's hard to deal with it because, like you said, they come to kiss you and hug you and stuff like that. Oh, this is so wonderful, but it's not every day. Especially raising girls, it's not every day. The older they get, and the more independent they get, the more they're not gonna want you in their space. The more they're not gonna want you to touch them. But you have to let them go, and eventually they come back. Love you, daddy, and you feel special again because you can't force it. You just have to let them be them. I ain't gonna say nothing to get me canceled, but I know it's kind of like dealing with women in general. It's kind of like owning a cat. You got to leave them alone. Give them what they need and leave them alone. And when they're ready, they'll come to you or whatever. And that's how I try to do my girls. Trust me. I try to go in there and talk to them and be dad and stuff like that, or try to have serious approaches with stuff. And then I'm like, no, I don't want to talk. Such, whatever. My oldest still suck a thumb, so he's
Yeah.
just, all right, I'm gonna leave you alone or whatever. And then maybe either maybe an hour later or even a couple of days later, they'll come. Hey, Daddy, I realized you was right about such and such, and I just want to thank you, and you're a great dad, and I'm like, oh, thank you, baby. I just want you to see that what I'm trying to tell you isn't me trying to control you or lead you into something that's wrong. I'm telling you because I've been there before. I'm telling you because I either experienced this or I know a little bit more about it. So if I'm telling you this, it's for a reason, baby. It's always to protect you. And then they'll realize it down the line, or they'll just, maybe I am just being stank today. They'll come in the living room and they'll cuddle and stuff like that. So you just gotta let them. You just gotta let them go. Say what you need to say. Get the point across. They hear you. They just want to rebel. But you gotta let them be them, and eventually it comes around full circle.
Straight up, straight up. What's been your greatest challenge in these 18 years of fatherhood?
My greatest challenge, just speaking as a man, just showing that you know that I myself am enough. We as a family are enough, and we can look at everybody around us, and they may have better things than you. If they may look like they have a better relationship with their family, they may seem happier, but you don't know what's going on in other people's world.
Straight up.
And as a father, I try to show them what's real, and I try to show them, hey, you may not have this, but we're doing this, we're doing that, we're doing this. Some places we sacrifice, some places we may splurge or whatever. But I just try to, biggest struggle, I just want to show them that, hey, daddy's still doing everything he can to make sure that we have everything we need. And it's not necessarily a struggle in doing so. It's just, like I said, they're kids and you have to make them understand. Because no matter how young your child is, they're not going to understand, okay, well, since I took your birthday off, I'm not getting paid for this weekend. So that's why we short, and that's why you can't get all of the presents you asked for. They don't understand, okay, well, this is broken and it's going to be a while before we can replace it. So alternatives is this. So you always got to try to show them that even if things are rough, they're gonna be better. They're gonna get better, and you just have to talk to them like people, pretty much. And one thing people need to do more is just start talking to your child like they're a person. Don't baby talk them. Don't patronize them. Don't talk down to them. You have to really, real deal sit them down. Look here. This is what's going on. This is what has to happen. We may not like it. It may not be comfortable, but this is where we are until where we get to where we want to be. And as a father, you have to be Superman. You have to show them that it's possible. And even when y'all get there, you're like, see, told you everything's gonna be all right. Even though you went in the bedroom and you cried at midnight,
Yeah.
thanking God that you made it or whatever, because my girls need to see this. My girls need to see a perception of life that I can give them. Not because I want them to be proud of me, because I want them to believe that it can happen. So I don't even know if I'm still on topic. But
No, that's helping me.
That's basically my biggest struggle at being a father. Just trying to be enough, trying to make my kids see that that there's, as long as you got a daddy, there's a way. As long as I'm here, even if it's not something physical, if it's something mental or emotional that you need, I'm gonna try to give it to you.
Man, that's so real. And that's like I say, when I say that's helping me, man, like it helps me to see or hear from another man that has daughters and that are a little older than mine, because some days, like I say, I'm just kind of like, okay, then what am I to expect? They're getting older, they're getting into different things, and I'm just like, okay, man, let me be prepared for this next season. Like I feel like I just stepped in a new season with my oldest daughter, her going into middle school, and I'm like, okay, it's a different her. She's a little more matured now. The conversations we have are like totally different than they were 2 years ago.
Right.
And we're able to, okay, she understand a little more now. When I talk with her, I can say something and she like, all right, daddy, that makes sense. Or sometimes she come to me and say things and it make me say, I think it's making sense to you now. Like you get it. And like I say, and she's so wise, she's so smart, and she's just growing up right before me. And I'm like, okay, this right here is another step. This isn't what it was, a few years ago. Like, we're in a whole different season with us two. Like,
Right.
let's continue to build on this now. Like, I gotta take a little bit off now because, even sometimes she's like, well, Daddy, I really don't want to talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. I mean, I give you some time. I mean, I ain't trying to, I just try to have talks with her about different things. And she's like, I ain't really trying to talk about that right now, Daddy.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be those. It's gonna be plenty, especially when they get older. Yeah, it's gonna be. It's gonna be a lot of. I know.
Uh-huh.
You know, but a couple days later, you gonna. Daddy,
Yeah.
so you was right, and I need such. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well
man.
then, all right. Well, Daddy loves you.
Straight up.
Thank you for your apology. And it, again, with women, you just can't throw it in their face. You just gotta.
And I will say that's one thing that she does do a lot. She will come back and apologize about different things. And I always tell her, that's one thing I appreciate you, but I try to make it my thing also to go back and apologize to model that.
Yeah.
For not just my daughters, but for my son also, to let him know like it's all right to just it's something we gonna all be wrong at some point.
Yeah, one thing a lot of parents do completely wrong is they feel that they don't owe their child an explanation or apology.
Yep.
You gotta explain to them and apologize to them just like you would do any other person. Because if I'm telling you something that's completely wrong and the child was right the whole time, I'm not just gonna tell you get out my face. So I don't have to look at you and deal with telling you that I'm sorry. No, Daddy was wrong. You were right. I'm gonna take you uphill. We're gonna do it
Yeah.
because I was misinformed.
Straight up.
Or if you okay, yeah. I was right about that, but Daddy just wanted you to understand. It wasn't to make you feel bad. It was just so you had an understanding of what it is.
Straight
Now,
up.
everything I tell you is not always going to feel pleasant hearing, but I have to tell you this because I'm your father. And that's a father's job. My job is to instill truth in the expectation of the world. Your mama's job is how to carry yourself as a woman. And that also comes with dealing with your emotions.
Yes, sir. Boy, that's a big one there.
Right.
We ain't even gonna go there.
Right.
But how do you prioritize your time? Like just being a dad, being a husband, working, you're doing music, all these different things. Like, how do you balance out your time? Or one thing I learned on another episode, one guy I was talking with, he was saying that it's not so much about balancing the time. It's more of everything has a weight. Some days it's gonna be, it ain't. I used to always think everything got to be here, and he like, bro, it ain't gonna be that. Some days family gonna be down here. Some days work gonna be down here. Some days, being a husband gonna be down here. And then he was like, you gotta know what your days are. So like, how do you balance out your time and weigh everything on your plates? All these different hats that you have to wear. Like, how do you do all that? Like, and keep time for yourself, and keep up with yourself.
Well, one, that person was absolutely right. It's going to be lopsided some days. You're not going to have every day to spend with your family. Sometimes, some days you're going to be at work all day. Some days you're not going to be at work all day, and you're going to have this whole day with your family. And now you got to figure out how to spend that time. Luckily for me, it's pretty much the type of work that I do. I work with people with disabilities, so I'm able to. Well, when I first got my, I was working at Takachali for like 15 years. The shift I was working was second shift, and that's from like 2 o'clock to like 10:30 at night, and that's an ugly ass time schedule.
Yeah.
Because you wake up in the morning, you barely have time to do anything, and if you do, it's run errands. And then when you get off, everybody sleep, everything closed. So it was a weird time working that shift, and I really didn't like it. but it's all I had at the moment. But I balanced it by trying to, squeeze whatever fun and activities before I go to work. Um, you know, I usually sit down and watch TV with my kids before they go to bed when I do get home and stuff like that. But as I start working, I moved the time that I work to a third shift, and that's usually 11 at night to like 6 in the morning. So I kind of kept that time schedule, and it allowed me to be home with my family while also giving me time to work on the business that I started. So, and then I just go to bed at night. Is it tiring sometimes? Of course, because being a husband and a father, you have a million errands to run just that morning. Before 1 o'clock, you done did like 7 things.
Believe it.
You done been in like 6 places. You done been to 2 appointments, the grocery store, the post office, and you done did something for your mama.
Real.
All before 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Then you got to go to work. If I was still working that second shift, but I was able to spend time with my family for most of the day, and then my family also understood that this daddy's running a business, so I was able to squeeze that in. And if I'm able to, I bring my family with me. I'm like, okay, all right, you and the kids coming, okay. Kids go at the park or something. I'm over here maybe doing a photo shoot or a video shoot for somebody. My wife will assist me, and we just try to squeeze whatever family time into whatever we're doing. Even if I'm at work, my family will call me and check on me. Especially now, my girls call me like every other day in school just to see how we're doing or whatever. And I really can't explain it too much. As long as I'm not working too much during the day, I made sure that I was working at night so I could spend the day with my family and have time to build my business.
Straight up.
So that's pretty much a situation for me. But anybody who's not in that situation, they can't, necessarily shift their time schedule or whatever. Because some people work 16 hours. You work 16 hours, you got 8 hours left, and that's the time they tell you you're supposed to sleep.
Man, listen.
So,
Boy.
but a lot of those people don't have time to spend with their family every day. I've been fortunate enough to be able to see my family while still providing a living for them. So, but that's just me. I can't really give advice on others without knowing their situation.
No, that's real. That's
All
real.
I can say is never stop looking for it.
Straight up.
Like it's the small things. Like, okay, you may be busy, you may be getting ready for something, but just that time to sit down and color with your kids or something means a lot. It done been plenty of times. Even when I wasn't working at Taka Charlie, I worked for Amazon for a few years. I worked for a medical transport company for for like a year and a half. I'd be full work uniform and trying to do stuff with them and play with them and stuff like that. But Daddy's got to go, just to make them know that Daddy is all willing and able to be here with y'all. I'm gonna spend this time, but understand that Daddy has to go to work, and when Daddy comes back from work, it's all about y'all again.
Straight up. No, that's real. That's good stuff there, man. And I always tell guys, like, even at work, just trying to make sure you prioritize family, even in that at times. If you might have some PTO time, bro, use some of that PTO time to do some stuff with the family.
Yeah,
bro.
you're gonna have to, especially if you have a wife or a girlfriend like I do. You gonna have to take some time off because family time is great, but she also needs attention as well.
All that.
And my wife, I love her, and she's a little needy, but that's what I love about her. And she don't play about me. And she's an amazing woman. She's always kept me going, and anything that was needed or needed to be understood, or she was always willing to sit down and compromise and let's figure it out. So my wife is a big part of me being the person that I am today. Because we've been together for 26 years now.
Jeez.
Yeah, we met
Deep in the game.
we met in middle school.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was in 6th grade, she was in 7th. We met in middle school. We've been together ever since. So
That boy deep in the game.
so we grew up together, and we became adults together. Everything we know about the world, we learn together. So it's not really a me bumping heads with a strange person that I'm trying to be in a relationship with. This is somebody I've known from childhood who I've started a family with. So it makes it kind of easier for me to communicate with my wife and for her to know that, hey, something's happening or something need to move and these are the changes we need to make. So yeah, if I didn't have her, I don't know where I'd be, honestly. Yeah.
That's commendable, bro.
No, real nigga,
Real,
no,
real.
like real shit. She is, and she's a great woman too. One thing a lot of women don't realize, if you want your man to be the man you want him to be, because if we're being honest, your man is a machine.
Real workhorse.
You expect him to go out there and get it every day. But in order for that man to be a machine, you have to be a mechanic.
This man
A
talking
machine
spitting
needs
game.
a machine needs to be oiled and lubricated. A machine needs maintenance. A machine needs somebody who's gonna recalibrate it to help upgrade it. That's basically what your job is as a wife, to be your man's mechanic, because he's gonna go out there and get it. But if he's beaten down, he's broken physically or mentally, he's not gonna have the strength to carry on. But my wife is always somebody who spoke positivity to me, always seen the best in me, and she's always wanted the best for me. So my wife is definitely a huge part of my life and who I am.
Shout out to the wifey. For real,
Love
for
it.
real. That's real though, boy. That man just spit some real game. For the free 99.
This time anyway.
But I got a few more for you, man.
Okay.
In what ways has being a dad influenced your music?
Fortunately for me, I wouldn't consider myself on any spectrum when it comes to music. I do hip hop music, a little R&B, and other genres as well. But I don't see myself as like a gangster rapper or drill rapper or anything like that. I'm just an MC. I see myself as a lyricist. I'm a storyteller. So I've had some I've had plenty of things where there's been vulgar lyrics and, touchy subjects, but nothing too consistent to where I had to change my whole image because it doesn't look right for my kids. So I've always kept my music kind of neutral, but they hear worse from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So it's hard to try to filter out some of the crap that they hear on the radio and on the internet, while also making music that may have a little bit of the same crap, and also hosting and working with other artists who do that exact same crap. So you may not have daddy in the house saying whole nigga bitch and all this stuff there. But if daddy brings some artists who are using the studio and you hear the exact same thing coming out the room, I just try to be the example of, there's a difference. Daddy say these things, but you see with your eyes that daddy is not that. Even if I said, "Oh, I'm gonna shoot somebody in a song," daddy only does what he needs to protect y'all and y'all mother. Daddy doesn't talk about a lot of those things that most people talk about in their music, about promiscuous women and drug use and stuff like that. I don't really talk about that. But you see it and you hear it from others. And I just want to let you know, as my child, that just because you see people do, just because you hear people say, just because you have friends that may partake, doesn't mean you have to do so. You are your own person. Be you. Even when kids pose for pictures and stuff, they do what they see as popular. Kodak Black came out. Everybody wanted to hold their jaw open and show the grills or whatever. And my daughter kind of hesitated because she was gonna do it too. She seen the others, and I'm looking at them like, be you, baby, be you. And then she kind of, I'm like,
Yeah, straight up.
that's what I told you. You don't have to be everybody else. Be who you are.
It's funny that you say that. I was talking with my son yesterday about a particular situation, and he was like, "Well, I'm not the only one in the class that did that." And I say, "I don't care nothing about everybody else in the class. Everybody else in the class is not the child of Anthony Ray.
Exactly.
You are the child of Anthony Ray. I hold you to a different standard. You gonna do what I say because you live in my house.
Right.
All them other kids, they can do whatever it is that they want to do. I could care less about what they got going on.
Right.
You are my responsibility. You are my child. Let's not talk about what everybody else is doing. We talking about you.
Mm-hmm.
You will not do what everyone else does.
Right.
And I just had to get that out the way for him, just like that. I'm like, don't bring up to me nothing what nobody else doing. I'm talking about you.
Exactly.
And that's all we're gonna talk about because you are my responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to hold you to a certain standard because that's what it is. And that's what it's gonna be. As long as you living up under my roof. That's just what it is. And he ain't have too much to say after that. And he only 8, but I just gotta have these conversations. I always tell him, boy, you will not be a hard-headed joker running around here like I see a lot of other kids.
Right.
As much as I have the opportunity to teach you better, boy, I promise you won't be that.
Right.
And I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that's not you. And just got to teach him those things and let him know there's a standard.
Mm-hmm.
There is a standard, man. Yeah. And I have to hold you to that. And I always tell, I wish I had that when I was growing up. I come from a single parent home. So it was my mom, she had a standard too, but my mom had a lot of other stuff going on. She had to work. She tried to take care of the house. She didn't have too much time to be like really honest. When she came home,
Facts.
you knew what time it was.
Facts.
But I'm like, man, y'all got your mom and your daddy in the house. Well, I wish I did. And I basically work from home. So for me, I'm with you all the time. And I'm telling them, man, I wish I had my dad here with me all the time like I'm here with y'all.
Right.
That would have steered me in a totally different direction. A lot of times, my mom worked the Taco Charlie too, so I know that second shift. She used to work first shift, but a lot of times she'll call.
Them call outs.
Say, hey,
somebody ain't showing up. Double. I gotta stay. Yeah.
So she there all the way till 10, 11. If mama say that, we home just kind of feeding for ourselves until, unless my auntie come by, my uncle might come by. But it was like, we had a lot of time to kind of, we growing up in tree trail. So it was like, it's that, it's a lot going on.
Hill. So, I get
it. Straight up, bro. So we had a lot of time on our hands to get into different things. And I'm telling them, y'all don't understand how blessed y'all are to have 2 parents in the home that are actively involved in every part of your life.
Right. You don't want to get into that topic. Y'all are so lucky and stuff like that. But sometimes you got to break it down to them.
Have to.
I tell my kids all the time. We didn't have cell phones like that when we was little.
Man,
I got my first cell phone when I was 16, and your mama bought me that cell phone.
Right.
Like you think we had internet and we was worried about hot water and cable when we was young. Like we had stuff going on way worse than what y'all was dealing with. When we was little, the grocery store was Disneyland.
All right.
You worried about going to a theme park. We was happy to be able to have a house full of food that week.
Man, all right. For real. And that's the stuff that they don't, every now and then I got to have those conversations, just kind of letting them know, don't overstep.
Yeah.
You know, cause you blessed. Like we ain't got it all, but y'all blessed, man.
You got a
Y'all,
room full of privileges right now.
man, come on.
All this shit that plug in and turn on, these are privileges right here.
Seriously.
The law only say you got to have lights and a bed
Yeah.
and hot water. Now we
Straight
go
up.
down to the bare minimum. Now you gonna think I'm neglecting you. You gonna want to call
up.
somebody from social services.
Straight up. Straight up, man. So yeah, man. I got one more for you, man.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna make it two. What do you want your legacy to be as a dad?
Oh, that's a hard question because it's a difference between what you want your legacy to be and what you want your legacy to be as a dad. What you want your legacy is to be is like you fighting for a heavyweight championship. What you want your legacy to be as a dad is knowing you can beat somebody to death, but not doing it because you want to show your kids there's benefits in restraint and humility, and actually, you know, caring about what you do to others and how you impact the world. So it's really a really two different questions there. What I want my legacy to be as a dad, just in my children's eyes, I want my kids to know that they were always there. I wasn't going anywhere when I heard my wife was pregnant, because I always told myself the woman that's gonna have my kids, that's the woman I'm gonna marry. My kids are gonna know who their father are. I'm gonna be there for them. And that's basically all I want my legacy to be as a father, is knowing that their father was there, knowing that their father was willing to put everything on the line just to make sure they had enough, just to make sure they have a better life.
Straight up.
Now, once they leave the nest and they go off into the world and I've done my job, then I don't care what people think of me after that.
Straight up.
I don't care. My children are safe. My children are happy. They're doing what they need to, because honestly, every birthday party is just a celebration of you kept them alive for another year. So once you actually raise them and push them out into the world, I think I can relax my shoulders a little bit more. But as a father, I just want them to know that I'm always there and I'm always, you know, willing to work my fingers to the bone to make sure y'all have what y'all need, and put myself on the line to make sure y'all maintain in the good graces that y'all are in. But my legacy as a man, just, I don't know, I'm still working on that. I still got a lot of aging to do. I still got a lot more living to do. And, you know, a lot of people fear getting old, but I saw this meme that made me rethink it. It said, never fear getting old because it's a privilege denied to many. So,
Sheesh.
right, as heavy as a motherfucker. So, I still feel I have time to work on my legacy as a man, but as a father, I think I'm pretty much, I'm almost there. And it's nothing you can buy your kids. It's nothing you can show them on earth. It has to be, where's your heart? Because as men, we already have to hide our emotions because people think less of us and think we're less capable. You may not care what they think about you personally, but for some reason, you being too emotional as a man makes them think your performance will also lack. So
Speaking, boy.
So I have to. So long as I've shown my kids, you know, the softer side of me, the stern side of me, showing them, you know, the love I have for them and their mother. Hopefully, I've shown them what they expect from the next men that come in their life.
Straight up.
Because as a dad, you are your daughter's first love.
Yes, sir.
You either the first man she loved or the first man that ever broke her heart. So I just, as long as I know I've done my job and I've kept that love flowing and they feel it, I think I've done all right as a father.
That's real. Last question. If you could sit down like you and I are doing right now with the 18-year-old version of yourself and give that man one piece of advice, knowing everything you know right now, what would you say to him? What would you have to give him one piece of advice?
Nothing matters. And I mean that in both senses of the word. And it's actually a hashtag I'm finna start spreading around. Nothing matters. You look at all this stuff that you didn't achieve. You look at all this stuff that you're still fighting for, and you look at all the stuff in your way. No matter what you're trying to accomplish, nobody cares about your excuses. They only cares about the results. So none of that matters. Nothing matters. Keep working. And then also, if you want to flip it, it's also in the other sense of the word, nothing. I can tell you, oh, nothing. Nothing matters sometimes. A lot of people fill in the blank with nothing because they don't want to deal with it or they don't want to talk about it. So they want us to let it go. But a lot of times, nothing matters. Don't also tell myself to not take so seriously what people say. If you're confident, follow that confidence. If you feel like it's what you want to do, follow it. Like like fear will hold you back from a lot of stuff. And admittedly I have let fear stop me from doing a lot of things because you think you won't be good at this, or you think that this may not work out well. Now, if it's something crazy that you shouldn't be involved in anyway, yeah, all right. But if it's a goal you're trying to reach or something you're trying to actually accomplish, if you believe it, go for it. You stifle yourself when you don't believe in yourself. So our dreams are scarier than our nightmares. We watch horror movies all the time because we know for a fact that a lot of that stuff is not real. It's not gonna possibly happen. Your dream could happen just for you doing the right stuff. And a lot of us run from that. A lot of us are afraid of success. So if you face your dreams, then you have nothing to fear. Anybody who's accomplished their dream, anybody who's chasing their dream, guarantee you they're not afraid of what you have to say or what you can do. They're already scared to death chasing this thing that they're trying to call, their goal. So
Yeah, that's good, that one. Yeah, listen, y'all, listen. I think that's advice for anybody out there. So, for those that do hear this, all I can say is, y'all heard it from the man mouth himself. That's great advice. I would say, those things that I can take right now as a 35-year-old man.
yeah,
You know,
told you it's never
for
too old to
sure,
learn. I'm still learning every day, bro.
straight up, man. So that's great advice. Um, yeah, man. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you for coming through, man. This is great. It's enlightening. I definitely needed a lot of this, what you said
I
today,
appreciate
man.
it.
So, like I say, man, I'm always just trying to learn from other guys. So I just appreciate you, your time, your wisdom, your knowledge for coming on and sharing your story. And all I can say to you is, man, keep going, bro. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you, man. Likewise, bro.
You you
Likewise.
you in it. You them baby girls, even after 18, they gonna still need you. Like I always tell my dad right now, I need you, bro. I need you. So continue doing what you're doing, big
Right.
dog.
Check on your peoples.
Yeah, for
Call
sure, man.
call your peoples. Just make sure they're okay. Just let them know, hey, think about you.
That's it.
Just making
Sometimes
sure
that's
you're
all it
alive,
takes.
bro. Hit
That's
me
it.
up when you get a chance. We'll talk.
Straight up, man. So yeah, so I hope, man, for all the listeners out there, for everyone that listens to this, hears this episode, I pray that you get something out of this. Continue to be a dad, continue to be a father. For all my moms out there, a lot of moms do support, man. Shout out to the moms out there, the good moms out there just trying to take care of their babies. For all the wives out there that listen, man, continue to do what y'all do, continue supporting, your children, supporting your husband. I just appreciate everyone's support, man. I get a lot of support right here in the city. I can't thank y'all enough, man. So y'all continue to support the podcast. Y'all, like I say, y'all be on the lookout for Can We Talk Network. We got some great things going on in the next few months. Hopefully next year we got something huge coming. We just had a talk last night with my man. So yeah, I got some stuff that's up under the surface. I gotta see how I'm gonna bring this stuff out though. So y'all continue to be on the lookout for that. Can We Talk? Men, Can We Talk? North Central Florida Sports Podcast, all a part of the Can We Talk Network. We're just continuing to try to push this thing forward, man. So we're super grateful for everyone that does support us. But until the next time, y'all, we're going to get on up out of here. Like I said, appreciate Gainesville Podcast Studio for allowing us to use their space. For everything that they do, man. They are great. Y'all get with them, man. Right here in the heart of Gainesville on 6th Street, Northwest 6th Street. Y'all come holler at them.
Yeah, we'll be up here soon as well. Can I give a couple of shout outs?
Oh, yeah, please do. Oh, and let the people know where they can find you.
First of all, like I said, my name is the Lyrical KingKong. King Kong is one word. You can find me on all platforms. Black Galaxy Entertainment is the name of my record label. Please look us up, blackgalaxyent.com. I want to shout out Hype 100 Radio. You can hear some of my music and the rest of the people from the label 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Follow the Smoke Podcast, formerly Black Hole Podcast. Follow the Smoke Podcast. It's now up and running, and more content coming from that. Speaking of which, we may be hollering at, some people for,
Yeah.
content and stuff. We do need, we do need a space to do things.
Yeah, do that.
So,
yeah, do that.
it only makes sense. But yeah, I appreciate y'all having me here, and
yeah,
thank you, man.
Hey, it's episode 138 of Dad Can We Talk? We up out of here. Bang, bang.